The story opens in the year 2024, with scenes of the United States engulfed in flames amidst a global civil war, where chaos reigns as people fight one another worldwide. From this grim setting, the narrative shifts back to 1988, introducing Detective Thomas. He and his partner arrive at the scene of a car accident, discovering the driver dead at the wheel. As Thomas inspects the woman's body, he notices 3 distinct puncture marks on her neck. Strangely, 2 other people in the same city have also been found dead under similar circumstances, each bearing those same 3 mysterious marks on their neck. Thomas and his partner head to the forensic lab, where the medical examiner explains that all 3 victims died in an identical manner. The 3 puncture marks found on each body appear to be the cause of death, though the exact method and weapon remain a mystery. Shortly after, Thomas learns of a similar attack on another woman at a club. He and his partner rush to the scene, where they meet Detective Holt, Thomas's brother-in-law. Together, they begin questioning the victim, who describes her attacker as a young woman in a blue hoodie with blood dripping from her hand. As she recounts the incident, the victim suddenly feels a sharp pain in her neck. The next day, she is found dead, bearing the same 3 mysterious holes on her neck. Thomas realizes that this mysterious girl in the blue hoodie is responsible for the recent string of murders. Determined to catch her, he and his partner order the police to round up all the girls in the city wearing blue hoodies for questioning. Later, while driving, Thomas spots a young woman in a blue hoodie crossing the street. The moment she sees him, she bolts, and Thomas, with his partner by his side, immediately gives chase. She leads them through dark streets and finally down into an underground train station. Thomas's partner gets close enough to confront her, but she overpowers him, injuring him and making her escape. Thomas soon catches up, and with his gun aimed at her, he confronts the girl, shocked by her calm expression. To Thomas's surprise, the girl looks him in the eye and tells him that his wife, who is pregnant, will soon give birth to a daughter, but warns that she will die shortly afterward. Thomas dismisses her words as a twisted attempt to distract him. A struggle breaks out between them, and in the chaos, she handcuffs herself to Thomas. Just as she's about to escape, he spots her unusual weapon, the same one used to kill the victims. In a final act, Thomas grabs the weapon and attacks her, causing her to stumble backward into the path of an oncoming train, which kills her instantly. After solving the case, Thomas steps out of the underground station, only to learn that his wife has been rushed to the hospital. Today is her due date. Filled with both excitement and concern, he hurries to the hospital. When he arrives, a nurse informs him that his wife has given birth to a healthy baby girl, just as the mysterious girl in the hoodie had predicted. Thomas brushes off the memory, dismissing it as a mere coincidence. As he admires his newborn daughter, a fellow officer approaches, sharing new information about the case. They found a bullet embedded in the girl's hand. The girl in the blue hoodie had been shot at some point. It's a strange detail that raises questions, but Thomas's mind is soon back with his family. While he's holding his baby girl, the doctor approaches him with a grave expression. He explains that complications arose during the delivery. Although they were able to save his daughter, they couldn't save his wife. Thomas is devastated, his joy overshadowed by grief. The girl's chilling words echo in his mind. She had told him that his wife would die. This revelation leaves Thomas haunted. The girl in the blue hoodie had spoken of his future, yet he can't understand how she knew years go by, but the mystery remains unsolved, lingering in Thomas's mind. By 1997, Thomas's daughter is now 9 years old, the same age as the years since his wife's tragic death. On the anniversary of her passing, Thomas takes his daughter to visit her mother's grave, only to find fresh flowers already placed there. Assuming they were left by his partner or his brother-in-law, he calls them both, but neither had visited the grave that day. Puzzled, Thomas wonders who could have left the flowers, as he has no answers. Then Thomas receives an urgent call. A murder has occurred in the city, eerily similar to those 9 years ago in 1988, with the same mysterious puncture wounds found on the body. Reviewing the CCTV footage from the crime scene, Thomas is shocked to see a girl in a blue hoodie, looking identical to the one who died in the train accident all those years ago. While others believe the killer may be an imitator dressed in a blue hoodie to mislead the police, Thomas's gut instinct tells him something deeper is at play. Intrigued, he decides to reopen the 9-year-old case file. In the evidence records, Thomas finds a small, peculiar key among the girl's belongings. It had never been thoroughly investigated, perhaps overlooked in the chaos of the original case. He hands the key to his partner, instructing him to trace its origin, hoping it might unlock answers to the mystery that has haunted him for nearly a decade. Thomas soon learns of another murder, this time at the airport. He arrives with his partner to find a young woman with the same 3 puncture marks on her neck, just like the previous victims. It dawns on Thomas that these murders are happening exactly as they did 9 years ago, in a single night. While examining the victim's belongings, he notices a peculiar detail. She, like all the other recent victims, was carrying a book by the same author. This strange pattern only adds to Thomas's confusion, filling his mind with questions but offering no answers. Then he remembers the small key he gave his partner for investigation. His partner reports back that the key belongs to an aircraft that was manufactured just a year ago. This confounds Thomas. How could the girl in the blue hoodie, who died 9 years ago, have had a key to a plane that didn't exist at the time? As Thomas wrestles with this mystery, a physicist named Dr. Naveen approaches him, claiming to have an explanation. Dr. Naveen tells Thomas and his partner about a rare phenomenon involving the blood moon. According to him, every 9 years, the gravitational force of the blood moon reaches a peak, creating an unusual energy field. Under certain conditions, it's possible for this energy to form a bridge of time, allowing someone to travel briefly through time. Thomas and his partner are skeptical, finding Dr. Naveen's words far-fetched. Dismissing the physicist's theory, they decide to focus on more tangible leads and head to the location of the plane that matches the key, a key Thomas had found in the belongings of the girl in the blue hoodie 9 years ago. Thomas steps into the plane alone, carefully scanning the area, when suddenly he comes face to face with the girl in the blue hoodie, the same girl who had died 9 years ago. She raises her gun, holding him at gunpoint, and Thomas is left in shock. Despite nearly a decade passing since her supposed death, she hasn't aged a day. How could she be here, alive and unchanged? As she begins to speak, Thomas's partner unexpectedly enters, catching the girl off guard. Startled, she fires, and Thomas watches in horror as his partner falls, fatally wounded. The sound of approaching security forces fills the hangar, leaving her with little choice. She orders Thomas onto the plane with her, and they take off just as security closes in. In the air, she finally begins to reveal her purpose. She explains to Thomas that she has been traveling back through time repeatedly, each journey an effort to save the future. "The world I come from is on the edge of disaster," she tells him, her tone urgent and grim. "If I don't make these changes in the past, the future will fall into darkness." She describes how, during the blood moon, the rare gravitational alignment allows her to cross time. Dr. Naveen had shared this theory, she says, and she has used it to alter events, hoping to create a safer world for those who come after. Her mission, she explains, is to secure a future free from the chaos and destruction she has seen. As they fly over a vast stretch of water, the girl looks at Thomas with a sad determination. "I have no other choice," she says softly, before pushing him out of the plane, sending him plunging into the cold waters below. Thomas somehow makes his way out of the water, and by morning, the police find him clinging to floating debris from the wreckage. The plane has crashed, leaving no sign of the girl in the blue hoodie. When Thomas explains that she came from the past through time travel, no one believes his story. Years pass, and by 2006, 9 years after the plane incident, Thomas's life has become shadowed in uncertainty. He has left his position as a detective, feeling isolated by his experiences and haunted by questions. Obsessed with the mysteries of the blood moon, he studies it intensely, convinced it holds the answer. However, he hasn't crossed paths with Dr. Naveen in all this time. His daughter has grown up and now lives with her uncle, Thomas's late wife's brother, who still works as a detective. During his research, Thomas discovers an unrecorded murder from 1988 involving a man named Harold. Driven to find connections, Thomas visits Harold's grave, and upon examining the skeleton, he finds the same 3 puncture marks. It's a grim revelation. Harold, too, was likely killed by the girl in the blue hoodie. Determined to dig deeper, Thomas tracks down Harold's last known residence, where he meets Harold's widow. Harold's widow reveals that before he died, Harold was an activist and led a group dedicated to social justice. He had even published a book that brought attention to their cause. Searching through Harold's papers, Thomas discovers a shocking connection. Harold had ties to all the victims of the mysterious murders between 1988 and 1997. To this day, Harold's ex-wife continues running the activist group, keeping his legacy alive. Realizing that Harold's widow may be the next target of the girl in the blue hoodie, especially since tonight is a blood moon, Thomas rushes to her house, but he arrives too late. She has already been killed. He catches a glimpse of the girl fleeing the scene and fires a shot, hitting her in the hand. Determined to stop her once and for all, Thomas pursues her as she escapes toward a large drainage pipe near the seashore. Thomas follows her inside and is stunned by what he finds: a time machine, its metallic surface gleaming under the faint light. Inside, he sees the girl in the blue hoodie, ready to activate the machine. Just as he tries to approach, a blinding flash illuminates the tunnel, and she vanishes along with the machine. In that instant, Thomas pieces together the truth. She has been traveling backward through time, year by year, from 2006. Her journey will ultimately take her to 1988, the year she dies at his hands. The bullet found in her hand when she died all those years ago is the same one he fired just now, in 2006. Having pieced everything together, Thomas explains the entire story to the police. However, they dismiss his claims as unbelievable and accuse him of killing the activist, leading to his arrest. As Thomas is taken away, we see Dr. Naveen watching the scene from a hilltop, observing the events unfold without intervention. 9 years pass, bringing us to the year 2015. Thomas remains consumed by the unsolved mystery, desperate for closure. Determined to find answers, he is granted temporary release near the seaside pipe where he last saw the girl and her time machine. Tonight is another blood moon, just like the night she vanished 9 years ago, and he believes she will reappear. Although it's also the due date for his daughter's delivery, Thomas forgoes the hospital visit, compelled by his need to finally confront the girl in the hoodie and uncover the truth. As he waits in tense anticipation, his instincts prove correct. The girl emerges from the pipe just as he had expected. Thomas raises his gun and demands to know the identity of the mysterious girl. Calmly, she replies, "My name is Ray, and I'm your granddaughter. I've been traveling through time because you instructed me to." She explains that her journey began in the year 2014, but in 2024, the world has fallen into chaos. Civil war and global conflict have erupted, leaving cities in flames. The source of this devastation traces back to a book written by Harold in 1988. Its message of extreme patriotism fueled unrest and division, eventually leading to worldwide violence and the outbreak of World War. Ray continues, revealing that to prevent this catastrophic future, Dr. Naveen invented a time machine, allowing travel only every 9 years on the night of the blood moon. She has been using the machine to go back in time, eliminating those responsible for the events that led to the war, hoping to reshape the future into one of peace. Thomas glances at Ray's hand, noting there's no bullet wound yet. This confirms his suspicion. Once her mission is complete, she will travel to 2015, where he will accidentally shoot her hand. From there, her journey will take her to 2006, then to 1997, and finally to 1988, where she will meet her end at his hands, closing the tragic loop of their entwined lives. Ray shows Thomas a bracelet, one he had once given to his wife. His wife had passed it on to their daughter, and now, somehow, it belongs to Ray. This discovery fills Thomas with sorrow, realizing that the girl he must ultimately kill in 1988 is his own granddaughter. Overcome, he urges Ray, "When you reach 1988, stop me from killing you." But Ray only shakes her head and explains, "This is a one-way journey. Once I go back, there's no returning to the future. After completing my work here, I'll continue traveling back every 9 years, erasing the people who led to the war. Eventually, I'll reach 1988 to stop Harold from writing the book that sparked it all." Heartbroken, Thomas listens as Ray advises him to be with his family at the hospital for her birth that night. Then, with a final look, she steps away, leaving him alone. Thomas goes to the hospital, where he meets his newborn granddaughter, filled with a bittersweet love for the child he knows will one day carry such a heavy burden. Ray, meanwhile, completes her time-bound mission. Moving back through the years, she eliminates each key figure responsible for the eventual devastation. Finally, she reaches Harold, who is working on the book that would lead to the world's ruin, and she ends his life before he can finish writing it. As she dies in 1988, fulfilling her mission, we see the timeline shift forward to the year 2024, where the destruction of the world begins to unravel. The flames of war are extinguished and peace is restored. With her task complete, Ray's sacrifice prevents the war, though she can never return to her time. Dr. Naveen's time machine was designed for one-way travel into the past, with no path back. Having given her life to change the future, Ray succeeds in saving the world, and with her passing, the story reaches its end. We hope you enjoyed this journey.